Good evening. My name is Yago Soto. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Quobis. Thank you very much for attending this demo. Well, during the last 10 minutes, I'm going to explain something about our company or the solution that we are going to show you. Quobis is a Spanish company. We have been working since 2006 in unified communication. Our activity is focused on VoIP security and interconnection. And we are focused on addressing service provider needs and enterprise markets. We have been working as a service company since during the last 7 years, but since 2010 we started to develop our own products. The first one was Identity Call that was launched in CTR Wireless in New Orleans last year in 2012. Identity Call is a soft phone that makes possible to be sure of the identity of the person that is calling. Identity Call uses a double factor authentication. The user shows something he knows because we have a user password mechanism. But in addition, the user must show something he has, because he must use a digital certificate, a software digital certificate installed in the device that he is using, or if he has a card reader, he can use a national ID card or a smart card in order to authenticate his identity. Then the credentials of the users are introduced in a signaling packet, and the other side, a contact center could be sure of the identity of this person. We had some problems with this product because we have to adapt the solution to different devices and different platforms. So last year we started to work with WebRTC because we thought that was the tool or the standard that could help us to solve these problems, to create a product that could work in any kind of device. So we started to work with WebRTC, and this year we released an open source. It's a complete JavaScript zip stack using, in this case, not JavaScript, we are using CoffeeScript, and it's called CoffeeZip. It's available, it's an open source, and it makes it possible to create your own endpoints using zip over WebSockets. Using this stack, we developed the product that we are showing here in our booth that is called Zipo, that was launched in the IMS World in Barcelona this year, and the first release using this stack. And Zipo is an endpoint that focus on enterprise and to be deployed by service providers. I'm going to talk just about 4 features of Zipo. The first one is designed for enterprise. For sure, we support, and we are going to demo later, we support all the different unified communication methods. We support audio, video, web chats, screen sharing, call recording, these kinds of things. But it's designed for enterprise, so enterprise demands additional features. One of these is the address book or the list of contacts. We have the possibility to store all this information locally in the web browser, but we can also connect this information with a remote server or connect with an LDAP server. Also, we have some open APIs in order to provision new users, in order to manage all the privileges of these users. It's a feature that is currently demanded by the service provider that we work. We have also been working with presence, and we have the possibility to connect this presence with the present mechanism of the rest of the network. And also we have work in the integration of the call detail records with the systems of the service providers that are interested in deploying this solution for corporates, and also for with the system of the enterprises. The second point is security. I mentioned before that our company was oriented to interconnection, and also to, we were working with security during the last years. So, well, we had the opportunity 3 or 4 weeks ago to have a webinar about security on WebRTC. I think that the name is WebRTC Security Concerns or something like that. But if you try to search security and WebRTC in SlideShare, you can find the slides, and I think that is also the audio available. Well, we know that some of the typical attacks in VoIP networks are also present in WebRTC environments, like fraud, illegal control. And also there are going to be new threats in WebRTC. In this example, we can see a malicious web server that can access our microphone and camera. We can also have, that are present in this figure, distribute denial of services attacks, other types of attacks like WebSocket poisoning or similar to that. So we have adapt our endpoint in order to be robust against these attacks. No? The third point is identity management. We implement different methods in order to support identity. Third-party companies or entities like OpenID, like OAuth, Facebook, Google. We also support our own authentication method, identity call, what I mentioned before. We support different telco authentication methods. And the last one, the last point that I want to mention, I think that's much important for us, is interconnection. We are talking about an endpoint. We are only supply a code that is going to be stored in a web server. But we support all or most of the signaling protocols that are already in use in the, or are demanded by the industry. The first version of SIPO only supported SIPO over socket, but actually we are supporting RESTful APIs, JSON, and any different signaling methods. So we have actually we have passed several interoperability tests with some of the leading session border controller manufacturers, media gateway manufacturers, or also HCD contact center platform manufacturers. And that is the real difference that we have actually. No? Now, in the last minutes, I would like, well, just to show you a demo. My colleague Santi has shown you some of the features in that screen. But I think that the best way to understand which are the actual possibilities of our endpoints is to make a call. So if I'm going to, OK. I'm going to call now Santi, and if I have time later, I'm going to make another demo. Yes, well, we have there the connection. We have also, as I mentioned before, a web chat, call recording, these kinds of things. We can manage also the contact leads in an intelligent way. I'm going to show you another demo where we can use SIPO in order to attend external calls. Here is a web page of a bank, and here we have a click to call button. If I click here and I allow this call, the access to the microphone and the camera, Santi is going to receive this call. The Santi attend this call. And well, here we can see how we can use SIPO also for attending incoming calls. Also could be a possibility for outgoing calls, and I recommend you to visit our booth as it's just there. Thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate yours.